What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Yo Ass Hungry Now. It's Saturday, so you know what that means? It's fight night, baby! So today we're gonna make you guys a little slider trio.
Yeah, we're gonna start out with some sliders. So we're gonna make Japanese milk bread, and then we're gonna do one beef, one chicken, one lamb.
Yeah. So you guys don't have to make them all. You can make your favorite one, but let's get into this recipe. I got this recipe from Josh Wiseman. It's his recipe, but I'm gonna do my little spin on it. Put a couple sesame seeds, make them smaller buns, but hey, it is what it is. So we're gonna start out from making our Tanzong for the bread. It's basically our starter. It's like a glutinous paste that you add into your dough and helps the gluten formation. I'm gonna start by measuring 2 tablespoons of bread flour, 4 tablespoons of whole milk, 2 tablespoons of water. So I'm going to bring this over to the stove and cook it till it becomes a nice paste. Yeah, this is what you're looking for. You want it to become a thick paste that doesn't stick to the sides of the pan anymore.
I'm gonna set the Tanzon to the side to cool.
So right here I have half a cup of milk heated up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I have 1 tablespoon of yeast. I'm gonna throw that in there to bloom. Just give it a little stir. I'm just gonna set that to the side. In this bowl I have 2½ cups of bread flour, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, and 2½ tablespoons of sugar. I'm just gonna give that a mix before I add any liquid into it. So I'm not lucky enough to have a stand mixer, so we're gonna make these buns by hand. I'm gonna start by adding my bloomed yeast and milk into our bowl. And give it a little stir-ski with a wooden spoon. Next, we're gonna add the Tanzong. Then we're gonna add 1 whole egg and 1 egg yolk. Now that we have this shaggy mass formed, I'm gonna throw a little flour on my cutting board. I'm gonna turn it out and begin to work it with my hands. If it's ever too sticky, feel free to add a little more flour. Now I'm gonna start adding 1 tablespoon of butter at a time and completely incorporate it before I add the next. Now that our dough's come together, we're gonna set it aside in a lightly oiled bowl, put plastic wrap on it, and let it proof at room temperature for an hour until it doubles in size. Our dough has doubled in size, so I'm gonna punch it, get the air out of it, and begin to roll. We're gonna weigh each slider bun out to 35 grams. So I'm gonna cut off a little piece, roll it into a small ball by pressing my palm against the cutting board and just rotating it between my 2 fingers. All our slider buns are formed. I'm gonna put plastic wrap on it and let it proof for 1 to 2 hours or until it's doubled in size. Our dough has doubled in size, so now it's time to brush it with a little egg wash, and we're gonna finish them with our little garnishes. So for the lamb ones, we're gonna do a little chopped rosemary and thyme and Maldon salt. For the chicken katsu slider, we're gonna be doing black and white sesame seeds with Maldon salt. And for the beef sliders, we're gonna just do a little Maldon salt. We're gonna throw the buns in a 375-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 12 to 15 minutes.
What's up, bitches? Alright, it's patty time. First we're gonna prepare our lamb slider. We're calling this one Silence the Lamb.
Hello, Clarice.
Very nice, so that lean to fat there. That's the binder right there, that fat baby. First we're gonna glaze it with about a teaspoon of olive oil. A little marinade action. I'm gonna add about another teaspoon of chopped rosemary and thyme. About another teaspoon and a half of chopped shallot and garlic. And about half a lemon worth of lemon zest. We got a little bit of that steak spice we made from that steak video left. I'm just gonna add a little sprinkle in there. Alright, time to massage and tenderize this meat. Alright, we're gonna measure out about 2½ to 3 ounce sliders here. Should go very nicely on our buns. And then we're gonna press these guys out. I'm using a spatula. If you have a press at home, feel free to use that. It's important to get these as flat as possible That way they won't start bubbling, expanding up in the flat top. We got about half a pound of ground chuck here. So for my beef burgers, typically I love the beef flavor to shine. So typically I just enhance the flavor with a little bit of salt and pepper. So yeah, basically right now I'm just gonna fold in just a touch of olive oil. And we're gonna be cooking these right away. So normally I would never put salt in a marinade because of what it does, it draws out the moisture. But right now, it's just gonna, you know, we're seasoning it up, ready to cook, you know? Let's do it. All right, same deal. We're gonna do 2.5 to 3 ounce portions.
All right, got some boneless, skinless chicken thighs here. I'm just gonna cut them up into manageable pieces that will fit on the bun. I'm not gonna actually pound these out like a traditional katsu. I'm gonna keep them thick and just gonna bread them up. Got my breading station here, now it's time to bread up the katsu. So for the katsu, you will double flour, double egg, then go to the panko. Just give it a nice crispy exterior. Now we're gonna make the sauce for the chicken katsu sliders. We're gonna make a bulldog sauce, or a katsu sauce. I think bulldog's just a nice, reputable brand. But we're gonna make our own version. We're gonna start with 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 3 tablespoons of ketchup, teaspoon of Worcestershire.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah? And a teaspoon of white sugar. Gonna give a little mixy mix. Kiss my ass, it's done. There's the sauce for the sliders. Next we're gonna make some slaw. I'm gonna start with some Savoy cabbage. I'm gonna julienne it up nice and fine. We got some julienne scallion. Season it with a little salt, 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, tablespoon of olive oil, half teaspoon of toasted black and white sesame, the zest and juice of 1 lime. I'm gonna give it a little mixy mix. Gonna adjust the seasoning, add a little more salt, and a big squeeze of honey, about 1.5 tablespoons. Our slaw is ready, we can set it to the side till we're ready to use it. I'm gonna fry our chicken. Got a cast iron, a couple cups of oil in it. We're gonna fry this at about 300 degrees until they're nice and crispy and golden brown on each side.
We're gonna season our grill.
It's a flat top.
Lay down our beef. And our lamb. Some salt. A little more pepper. Look at that. Top these guys off with a little bit of jalapeno havarti. So I do burger baby on the flat top.
Time to toast our buns. It's time to build our sliders. I'm gonna start with the chicken katsu. Put some bulldog sauce, top and bottom. Follow behind that with some slaw. Then throw those big pieces of chicken right on top. Little scallion.
All right, let's get this salsa lamb prepared. All right, we're gonna do on the bottom a nice healthy amount of tzatziki. You can find the recipe for this in the link below. Of course, our lamb slider. Look, that fits beautifully, look at that. We're gonna top it off with a little bit of feta. Our pickled onions with habanero. You can also find this recipe in the link below. And of course, a little greenery. We're using spinach today. Feel free, if you want a little more pepperiness to this, arugula work awesome too. I tell these guys. And then
the beef boys.
Yeah. We're gonna garnish these burgers with our house-made habanero aioli. You can find a link to this recipe below.
You can follow behind that with our burger patties that have a little bit of that habanero havarti on it.
We're topping off with our gorgeous maple chili bacon jam. Also, link below.
Follow behind that with a little crispy shallot. Gonna finish these off with a little shredded iceberg lettuce. Time to top them. There you have our beautiful slider trio.
Bro, I'm hyped. You ready?
Let's go! Burns Usman, baby.
Ooh, man.
Who you got this time? Who you got this time?
Bro, I don't know yet, man. Gilbert's been coming up, but bro,
Usman, he's a champ. Dude. Nigerian nightmare. Grab a slider, let's fucking taste it.
Right, I know,
you gotta go with the lamb.
What you got?
I got beef, she got chicken.
I got chicken.
Let's
I
do it
love chicken.
up. Bro, this bun. So soft.
Oh.
The jalapeno.
Wow.
Aioli.
Wow.
Nice and juicy.
This is bomb. I don't know if you can see mine. I'm kind of far away, but.
Fantastic.
So good.
Wow.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Fight Night Food. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'll be back for next fight night with another video.
Awesome, man. I gotta start watching this piece. Perfect.
Oh my god.